I'm Indi and I'm currently trying to break the record for the longest distance driven on an empty fuel tank.
Hi, I'm Beck, and when I'm short of money, I use the bits of the butter that have been scraped back in with crumbs and all, just to save myself from buying a new tub.
And this is Cheapskates. So how's your butter going?
I do find, because I was like, I don't know if it's, like, it's probably, this is more in a communal space, obviously, otherwise it's just my own, like, who cares? But it's more, I thought it was kind of considerate when people would scrape the knife back in, because I'm like, that's butter, you know? It's still butter at the end of the day. And now I'm finding that it actually is quite useful. Also, if you have a little bit of butter left, untouched, and you mix it all in, then it doesn't feel as gross.
Yeah, and also because it would have a lot of people's crumbs, and then those crumbs have probably gotten all softened and...
Exactly. And also just like it's almost like you're whipping it. You know, whipped butter is always a bit softer. It is like obviously hardens again in the fridge, but it's easier to get to that soft place. It's a little bit softer, so it's quicker and time is money. And also it doesn't taste that bad.
That's good to hear, although I will say if I've ever used that, it grosses me out so much. Like I don't think that I could physically do it because I would be disgusted. But reduce, reuse, recycle.
Exactly. And that's very, I would say, privileged of you to not ever use that part of the butter.
Sorry, I don't have to be eating the soggy crumbs in the butter.
That's okay.
I've got my priorities a bit more in order.
Yeah, that's so fair.
That must be
That's so fair. You don't vape, so you can afford to not use that part of the butter.
How much do you spend on a vape, do you throughout a month?
Well, because I'm like trying to quit right now, so maybe it's more like $80 a month. But that's like $2 a month. And then when I was like going hard out and I wasn't intending on quitting, probably 160 a month.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
And like for me, like I drink a fair bit and you don't. So I'm like, to me, that's like a night or two out.
Totally. Yeah, that's so true. Oh my God. It all comes out in the wash, doesn't it?
It all comes out in the wash.
And you know what I realised?
What?
Sorry, it's not actually relevant to this. But
please,
if you say our names, Indian Beck, sounds like Indian Beck. But it really applies here. I feel like it really works here. I'm from Bangladesh, but I think that you could still say it for me, Indian Beck. But you're just taking it out of the name altogether.
It does feel a little not PC, I will say.
Don't worry about that here.
Okay, Beck, I've got a story for you today.
Okay.
And it is a story probably neither of us can really relate to, but I'm going to tell it anyway. It's a story about a dream home, a surfboard, and a minor Aussie celeb.
Wow, okay. Can I guess? No.
You can guess, but I reckon you know like 3 Australian celebrities. Sam Wood.
Ricky Ponting.
Amy Taylor. You know Ricky Ponting?
I know of him. Like I know his name. You know Ricky Ponting?
He's a cricketer.
He's a cricketer, not a surfer. Kelly Slater is what I'm thinking of. They look the same. That's what I'm thinking of, Kelly Slater. Is it any of those 3?
No, it's not.
Wow, okay.
Today, I'm going to introduce you to a couple called Penny and Frankie.
Cute.
Now, the pair got together when they were quite young. I would say like in their early teens or so.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a lot of the same interests. Like they both loved going to the beach, they both loved surfing, and they both loved hard work. They were both hardworking people.
Niche.
Niche, yeah. So they understood like very early on that they had the vision for the life they wanted to build together, and they realized that was going to take a lot of hard work.
Luckily, they love hard work.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So they both knuckled down for years and years and years, and they both worked at their respective jobs, putting away cash because they were, saving this cash for a rainy day.
Yes.
And they were the kind of couple that like might not go on a holiday, might not go out for fancy dinners, because instead they'd put that cash away for their rainy day, whatever that was going to be. And like when their friends are upgrading their cars or their houses, they were like, we're not keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. They're like, you guys watch this space.
Exactly.
It looks like nothing's happening, but secretly.
They're packing and stacking
Yes.
cash. And then this continued like this for decades and decades until they were in their 50s, until Penny was celebrating like her 20th anniversary at the same job. 20 years at the one
20
job.
years.
Yeah, crazy. They sit down and they're kind of like, wait, we're like 10 years away from retirement, maybe less. And what are we saving all this money for?
Wait, I forgot. What are we doing with all this money?
We forgot to live.
Yeah.
Like, what is our dream life? Like, we don't want to just wait until we're old and retired to spend it. Like, let's start spending that now. So they started like mapping out what they wanted their retired life to look like or what they wanted their life to be by the time they retired. Now, for you, what does retirement life look like? What do you dream of?
Well, because as you know, I'm always broke. And I was a bit existential last night, but I won't go too deep into that. But I thought, why am I always here? Will I always be here? And I really thought maybe retirement will be broke. But I have a feeling I'll just get rich, and I don't know how it's going to happen. So, but ideally I'll live the same. I think I don't want to wait until then, because also you've got like so many other things. You're sore, your bones aren't as dense, maybe things aren't as easy. And so my retirement's going to look very similar to right now, but somehow I'm going to be rich. I don't know how, but somehow I'm going to be rich.
I actually feel that for you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and I'm having like a psychic moment.
Yeah.
I'm just like in my psychic couple of weeks at the moment. I'm feeling things and they're coming true.
Yes.
And I'm feeling that one day you will just be rich.
Do you know when?
No, I can't put a time frame on it. I'm not that psychic.
Okay.
I just go off the feeling.
Okay, cool. Could be like end of this week.
I'm not getting that strong of a feeling, sorry. But, you know, it could happen. Actually,
Good to know.
It will happen for you. I just don't know when.
Yes. Thank you. That's really comforting.
Well, Penny and Frankie are not quite the psychic manifesting type. They have like really drawn it out and mapped it out, and they've realized like, let's go and buy our dream home. They've been staying in this one house for years and years and years. So they thought before they retire, let's just splurge and get our dream home. And they've realized like they have been packing and stacking for quite some time. So they've got a nice little nest egg there for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of drawing out like what that dream house is going to be. They want to live nice and close to the beach. They can just walk from the house across to the beach, make it super easy. They want to have like a big house for entertaining. They're like very community-minded people.
Cool.
Yeah, have a lot of friends. They want to have a place where everybody can just stay, and doors always open with Penny and Frankie. So anyway, they decide to go out and find their dream home, and they meet with real estate agents. And of course, they keep seeing the same real estate agents, and they're sucking right up their ass because they've got some cash to spend.
Yeah.
Sometimes real estate agents are vultures.
Of course. They want to
Hashtag
slice
not
that
all.
pie.
Exactly.
Yes.
The commission will be very nice. And then they look at all these homes, but there's always something that's a bit off, like the house is in a weird location, or it's on a main road, or one of the main things they keep coming into is that there's always some ugly ass thing in the middle of the house. So they've got some like weird marble sculpture, or there's some like weird centerpiece in the middle of all these houses that it's like people have too much money, they don't know what to do with it, so they put some god awful thing in the middle of the house as like their big centerpiece.
Yes.
If you had like an offensive amount of money and you didn't know how to spend it, what is the god awful thing, the god awful centerpiece that you'd put in your home?
Now I have thought of this. It's very similar to like I ask people, like, you know, there's some people who are obsessed with something.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but people who like purple, like they make it their life. The people that really, you know, there's like you see those older ladies, like everything's purple in their house, whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, mine is Grimace from McDonald's.
Okay.
And I think I would have a huge Grimace. And I don't know if it would be like the lounge. I feel like it would be three things: a lounge and also a statue. And also
The lounge is Grimace?
the lounge is Grimace, a big like laying Grimace. You can lay on him. And also stuffed toys. So there'll just be three giant Grimace and probably little Grimaces everywhere as well. I think that's probably what I'd spend my money on.
You have great taste.
Thank
for
you.
Starters, I hope that you become rich. I just want to also, because I want to see this Grimace house. Grimace is having a real moment at the moment. Have you always been a Grimace girl, or are you jumping on the bandwagon?
Grimace is having the Grimace shakes.
Yeah.
Trust me. I loved Grimace from when I was fresh out the womb.
Day one Grimace girl.
Day one. What about you?
I don't know. I think I would have like, well, I've got this beautiful cat clock on my wall, and I would love to have a fucking wall of random clocks. I think it would be so like it would drive you insane, and then people would like walk into your house and be like, what is wrong with you? And it would just be this constant tick, and it would be they'd be all not be ticking at the same time.
Oh, okay, I was going to ask.
How fun is that?
I can see that for you. I can see that for me too.
Okay. So after months and months of searching for their dream home, Penny and Frankie, like it was exciting at first, but they're feeling really downtrodden about it. Downtrodden.
Downtrodden
Is
sounds
that a
right.
word?
Downtrodden.
Yeah, they're really sad because I think they're realizing that their dream house may not exist. And they've met with the same real estate agents. And anyway, but they're still on the way to this one house today. They pull up in the driveway and they're like, oh, this is the street to be in. It's a very nice, quiet street right near the beach. We could walk, like there's a great surf beach right near here that's walking distance. They get out of the car, they walk up the driveway, and the house looks beautiful, and they're greeted by some vulturistic real estate agent who comes out, says hello, smells their money on them. And they walk into the house and it's beautiful. It's like almost exactly what they want. It's this beautiful open plan. It's got plenty of bedrooms. There's a pool. There's like a beautiful pool area. Like it's very much a home for entertaining. And there's entertainers.
Yeah.
But the main thing that really gets the both of them, usually where there's a god-awful centerpiece is in the living area or the lounge area, is this beautiful old surfboard that's been made up and put in as like a shelf.
Oh,
and
okay.
They are like, this house feels like it's exactly for us.
Meant for us.
Yes. It was like the surfboard is their sign.
Yes.
And the real estate agent is like, oh, I'll let you in on a little secret. This house is actually owned by this vaguely famous celebrity who you may know from a number of shows, but you probably can't quite put your finger on how you know him.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we do know that vaguely famous celebrity. That's cool that this is his house. And the real estate agent says, yeah, he's actually going through a pretty messy divorce at the moment and he just wants to get rid of the house ASAP. So you'll probably like get the house pretty cheap and quickly if you want it, like make a move.
Yeah.
If you were given this juicy information about this vaguely famous minor Australian celebrity, what do you do with it?
Well, I think it depends who it is, first of all, because now I've got like, you know, when you move into a new house and it's like everything kind of feels gross. And I don't know about you, but I can't touch like the doorknobs in a new house. I can't drink from the tap for a little while. Things like that. And then, yeah, even the tap, it depends on the tap, but usually I can't with the new tap. It takes a while. You got to like, it's got to start smelling like you. The dust has got to swap over from not old person, but the old people to your dust, your skins. And that's only when you're comfortable. So I think that not knowing who was in the house is easier. But it depends on the celebrity. If it was like, what's his name? Hoffman, Jack, John.
I do love Jack Hoffman. He's great.
Jack Hoffman? No. He was maybe in Baywatch and SpongeBob movie.
He was too. David Hasselhoff. Now, David Hasselhoff, I couldn't because I think he looks like he would, and bless, he's a hot man, but I think he looks like he would be a bit stinky and he would have a bit of oil and sweat on his body, just natural. Because he's running on the beach.
He's running on the beach.
Exactly.
He's probably got some like, you know, he's got that nice chest hair. I think like something like that, I don't think it would entice me. It would in fact be like, I wonder what he's been doing around here. You know?
Yes. Do you know what? That actually is a fair point.
Thank you.
But this house is like pretty well new. They've pretty much just built it or just renovated it. So it's barely been lived in.
Okay. But the do it quickly would scare me, I think.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, is this just a move by the real estate agent?
Yeah, actually, no, I would do it. Yeah, I would do it. And I would do it quickly too. Actually, scratch that. I would be feeling an urgency.
To buy the house?
Yeah.
Penny and Frankie are stoked about this information and they're like, yeah, okay, cool. Like this is the exact house and maybe because it's like this very quick private sale, we might get it for under budget. So they pretty much go home, put an offer in, see you later. I'm sure there's other things that happen when you buy a house, but it's pretty much accepted. Boom, they buy the house. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So over the next couple of weeks, while they wait for the settlement or whatever that process is, they pack up their house. And every time they see this vaguely famous celebrity on the TV, they're like, oh my God, it's a sign. We're about to move into his house. How exciting. But they are also aware, like, it's great seeing him on the TV, but there's quite a bit of information coming out about his very messy divorce. So it's,
I see.
you know, it's a little bit sad.
And he was not a good person?
We don't really know. He's quite likable on TV.
Yeah. And I guess, okay, so they're just thinking like, oh, it's like if someone died in the house. You're like, doesn't feel good.
Well, it's sad. A couple split up and
Yeah.
two sides to every story, whatever.
Absolutely.
Fast forward to move-in day and they're so excited. They pull up in there. They've got like their moving van that they come in and they pull up, hop out of the car, walk up the beautiful driveway, which is now their driveway. They put the keys in the door, turn it, and the door to their dream home opens.
Wow. A double door?
I don't know those
Oh, that's
specifics,
fair,
but
that's fair.
I'm picturing maybe it is a double door. It's a fancy house.
Well, you'd hope.
Otherwise, it's Povo. One door, Povo. Everybody
Povo.
knows that.
Exactly.
How many doors do you have?
I got a few.
Do you have a double door or one door?
Depends who you ask, isn't it? Because it's all subjective.
You've one door.
One door.
You've a Povo door.
Yeah, I've got a power door.
Same. They step into the house and they're super excited, smiling, can't wait. But they take like one or two steps in and their faces drop. And suddenly it's just like a mix of horror and confusion. What do you think has happened?
My God. I think the vaguely famous person is living inside the house. No, I think either maybe that's his friend or something, and he sold the house while he's still in there, like took all the money, and then just like, but he's like going to take all the money and then be like, hey, I actually still live here, so you got to go. And sorry, you were scammed. There's nothing I can really do about that. See you later.
Penny and Frankie have barely stepped a foot inside their dream home that they've just purchased, and they are shocked at what they see.
Mm-hmm.
Penny turns to her husband and says, call the police. Call the real estate agent. We've been looted. Somebody's come in and looted the house.
Oh.
She's like frantically running around trying to figure out what's happened. But Frankie, he's just standing there like shocked, devastated as he looks around and realizes that every single light fixture and light globe has been ripped down from the walls and the roof. And it's not just like somebody's done it very quickly, because it hasn't been done with care at all. Someone's just taken them all down. And when he takes a few more steps into the house, he looks into the living room where his favorite part of the house is. And realizes that the surfboard shelf has been ripped off the wall. The whole surfboard's gone. And there's like a big hole in the plaster where someone's just ripped it off the wall.
Oh, sounds like an angry divorcee.
Now, Frankie's taking it all in and he's just completely shocked. He doesn't know what to do. And Penny's already making calls. She's on the phone to the real estate agent and she's like, somebody's come in and ripped down all the light fixtures and all the light globes and the surfboard's gone and there's so much destruction here. And the real estate agent is like, oh no, the vaguely famous celebrity said he was going to take a few things before he left and, he can take the light bulb, so it's fine. And she's like, no, it's not just taken the light globes, he's taken light fixtures. There's so much damage to this property now. And the real estate agent's like, well, the real estate agent's got their cash now and his commission. And he's like, well, we did a walkthrough and it was fine for us, so sorry. And that's pretty much left it at that. There's really nothing that the two of them can do. Do you get revenge? What do you think in this situation?
I guess you kind of could, but you don't even know who. It could be anyone, It could just be crazed fans of the vaguely famous person who's like, I want to take some bits that he touched, or it really could be anyone. So I don't think I'd take revenge, but I'd be putting back on the market. I don't know how it all works, but can you
need to sage it? or something.
You need to stage it, so you got to fix it first. And then when it's fixed, you're like, may as well live
Oh, no,
here.
I mean stage it for bad vibes.
Oh, stage it. So they would have to fix it up. By the time they get there, it's livable.
Oh, I see.
Don't worry about it. I think I would just be like, I would sit for a while and be like angry and then be like, all right, well, I guess we've got to fix this place up. You know, we got so much money. It's not going to cost us that much to put some extra light fittings in and maybe even replicate that surfboard. and what was the other thing? It
was just
sage it. Then sage it.
Great. Yes. Well, you know, you're very similar to Penny and Frankie. Like, they're lovely people and they just think, okay, let's be realistic. We've just spent like a mozza on this property. Some of the light fixtures were ugly. Great. They've done us a favour. We can put our own light fixtures in and they're bloody light bulbs. Like, it's a little extra, but come on.
Yeah,
it's not the worst.
$2.
And then Frankie's already got to work like replacing the plaster on the wall where the surfboard was.
God, he's good.
So one day he's like, we'll get another surfboard. There's still the room here for it, but let's just get it into working order and just put our own mark on it and be happy with the place
that surfboard,
got.
it was kind of tacky anyway.
No, he loves the surfboard. He's going to be replacing the surfboard.
I see.
And there is a part of Penny and Frankie that does actually feel very sorry for this vaguely famous guy because his divorce is like on every magazine, it's in the newspaper, and it sounds like it's getting really, really messy and it's probably going to be very expensive. So there's a part of them, don't condone it, that thinks, okay, we understand maybe why he took absolutely everything that he possibly could from this house of value because he's probably going to need it to pay for his lawyers and the divorce.
Fair. Okay, fair enough.
A few days later, after they've been settling into the house and moving in, Penny goes to take out the rubbish bin from inside the house to the bin outside. And when she opens up the lid, she looks in and she realises there's like a stack of well-worn notebooks. So she reaches in and pulls one out. And she flicks through the pages and realises that they're covered in writing, front to back pages, all the way through. And as she keeps looking, she realises that this is a diary of like daily events. And it doesn't take her long to realise that this is the diary of the vaguely famous celeb. She reaches in and pulls out the other couple of books and realises it's like years of everything.
Oh my God.
It's all pretty much documents the entire relationship breakdown, even some juicy information about his work life and some of his work colleagues who are also vaguely famous Aussie celebrities.
Yeah.
She gathers them up and just thinks, God, there'd be some trashy online magazine that would pay big dollars for this.
Oh, yeah.
But no, she puts them in the fire pit and they're never seen again. Yeah, she lets it go up in flames.
She reads them, surely.
Nope. Lets them go.
Is okay. You know, I'm like, some people are really good in this world. And pains me to say, I would read them. I would probably not sell them, but I would surely you'd read them. Some people are so good that they're like, this person who doesn't know me will never know that I read these. These are private. I am not going to read them. And they won't. And I'm that's incredible. I wouldn't to my friends and family, but someone I don't know, I'm reading it.
So you would just stop at reading it, you wouldn't do anything else with it?
No.
This is how you get rich, Beck, maybe. What if a publication comes to you and says, we'll give you $500,000, give us the diaries? Because that's a big scoop.
Well, I think upon reading the diaries, if I'm like, oh, this person's a really bad person, absolutely. Morally, I'm getting money and morally you should have this information because this person is not a good person. And there are other people's like, maybe there are victims of this person that need backup.
Yeah.
And the evidence is in this book.
I see.
Absolutely, I'm selling it. But if they're like a really nice person and maybe they were the victim of something and they didn't want the books ever shown, absolutely not.
This is the mindset that's keeping you poor.
This is the problem.
Beck, we have a question from somebody and they have asked for you to answer it specifically. Are you feeling like you're ready to help change people's lives?
Absolutely.
Question is,
yeah,
is it wrong to charge my friend an admin fee? I've recently just bought us concert tickets and I'm thinking of adding my own booking and admin fee charge to what she owes me. I was the one that had to brave the Ticketmaster queue, and I'm always the one that books the holidays, hotels, concert tickets, pretty much any activity that we do. It sounds petty, but I always do the organising and I wouldn't mind being compensated for it. I'd obviously talk to her about it first and not just add on. I'd obviously talk to her about it first and not just add on an extra fee. But do I come across as a huge tight ass if I add an admin fee?
Now, I could, invisible labor or whatever it's called, mental load.
Mental load.
I do think that should be compensated. I don't know if it should be compensated in that way, though. I think the compensation should come in other forms, and that could be you get a little massage. I think, there's like tickles.
Okay.
Me and my other friend, Alison, there's a word in Bangladesh called it's mishti, and that means sweet. And we used to give each other mishti minutes, which is if she would say, "Can you go get my friend from upstairs?" And I would be like, "That's going to cost you 3 mishti minutes." And she'd say, "Okay, 3 mishti minutes." And then I can use those 3 mishti minutes however I want. And so if that means that I want her to give me a leg tickle or I want her to go get me a water, I can use a mishti minute. And so when you are booking an Airbnb, different to booking tickets. Tickets probably, if it takes a lot longer, you're charging 10 mishti minutes for this.
Oh, but she gets to set the price. So she says, I'll buy the concert tickets, but it's 10 mishti minutes.
Exactly. And they're not literal minutes. So you could be like, to tickle one leg, that might be for like an hour, that's like 5 mishti minutes. So if you have accumulated enough mishti minutes, then you get both legs tickled. You might even get a back tickle. Or whatever you want. You can use those mishti minutes however you want.
This is great. So if she's going back to her friend, she's bought the concert tickets, what does she say?
She says, I think because I'm doing all the legwork, we need a system in place where I'm like, okay, I agree to do all the legwork, all the admin for this, but in return, I get mishti minutes or whatever you're going to call them. You get this that you can spend however you want, And then the friend has to be like, okay, that's fair. And then one day randomly when you're both laying down, you both can't be bothered doing anything. And you're like, can you please get my charger for me? And they're like, no way. And you're like, I have mishti minutes that I can spend wherever, whenever. And they're like, fine.
Oh, I like that. So with the concert tickets, how much should she say? How many mishti minutes is that?
Depends how long she's in the line for. I wouldn't think that's too big of a deal.
I've recently bought tickets. Actually, no, I failed at buying tickets, but I was in the line for tickets with other friends. We're all trying to get tickets. And yeah, I was in there for like 40 minutes. Actually, it's probably more of an hour because then you can't get the tickets that you want. So then you go to another day.
Yeah,
you got to sit in a line and then you go, depending what show it is, but it was about an hour.
Yeah, true.
And I get super anxious buying tickets.
Yes, your heart rate spikes.
And I don't want to be the person that lets down the group.
Totally.
And I'm terrible at buying tickets. For some reason, I'm just in a flap and I can't do it. So for me, it's quite a responsibility.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of work and my heart rate, that can't be good for
emotional
my heart.
labor as well.
Yeah, I think it's more physically taxing, I think.
Yes, that's true, actually. It's true. That's
so
quite
I would
a feat.
say buying the concert tickets, if it is a big concert, it is hard and it's quite laborious.
I think you get 20 mishti minutes, which equates to the same of like you're both laying down, you both can't be bothered, can you get my charger? That 10 times.
Amazing. So 20 mishti minutes for concert tickets. We'll say if you book a holiday, it's probably 50.
That's true because you're doing the flights, you're doing the accommodation, you're making sure that you're doing something.
A weekend Airbnb.
It's expensive. But
10 mishti? 20 mishti.
Well, yeah, because you have to talk to the host.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of mishti. So I would say for booking an Airbnb and then communicating with the host, because you have to do that the whole time and then it all falls on you if someone else breaks something or if there's a mess that someone didn't clean, it all falls on you. The whole week is mental labor. That is 50 mishti minutes.
Great.
Yeah.
Beck, this was actually weirdly
helpful?
Very unexpectedly helpful. I agree.
Thank you.
No to the admin fee.
Yeah.
But yes to mishti minutes.
Yes to mishti minutes.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you so much for watching Cheapskates and listening to Cheapskates.
We love the cheapskates of the world sometimes.
We love them. Sometimes.
Not all the time.
And all the time. And not all the time.
Bye.
Bye.